Hello there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with Inkbound. Today is Thursday, so we are playing Obelisk. We're still up at Platinum 3, but this should be our rank up into Platinum 2, and then we only have about like 7 to 10 wins before we're at Inkbound. Kind of hoping that we get to Inkbound by the start of next week so that we can start showing that off through the next round of aspects. Now, just to reiterate on Obelisk, Obelisk has good chunky AoE damage, but he's pretty slow with all of his high costs. His Ironclap does give him guaranteed access to shield, but it's not really enough to protect him against most threats. So we still do need to scale a little bit of defense, or we just need to scale our AoE to the point to where it's not a problem anymore. And we also still need to solve bossing, because waiting for Shield Bash and Seismic Slam to come up isn't really a viable bossing strategy. So generally speaking, Obelisk either goes like full on physical damage, full on tank, or finds a DOT in order to solve with bossing, which I suppose, I mean, when you get down to it, is sort of what everybody does, but we can't be too tanky because, of course, at the, what is it here? Gold 2 mod, Creeping Blight deals additional damage and starts closer. That really starts to clock out your boss fights if you just build like an unstoppable tank. And so it's more viable versus the end bosses than it is versus the mini bosses. So you definitely have to find damage first. Looking at our run quests here, we have 140 DOTs. Pretty easy, especially versus Cinder. Fully Augment 3 Bindings, pretty easy. Argolos 750 Quillings, pretty easy. I feel like I almost want to run Argoloth because I feel we don't really run a lot of Argoloth. Argoloth is a little rough right now. I didn't check all the patch notes, but just the whole fact that you're just constantly taking damage from tentacles, you really got to build yourself pretty tanky or keep the tentacles under control. And as Obelisk, being, again, pretty slow, it's a little bit harder for them to do that. We may go with Cinder, but then we have to figure out how we're going to deal damage to Tangles. We'll go ahead and we'll go Cinder. This should be the easiest one here. If we could get some sort of an applicator here, that'd be great. We didn't. A little bit of crit here, gain small amount of Quillings 5 times per combat. It's something. Otherwise, Hex doesn't really do anything for us at a baseline. Gaining a guaranteed crit every turn is much more notable, especially when we have chunky skills like we do. It might honestly be counter assistance, but getting a little bit of money, like up to 25 Quillings per combat, does add up. Of these here, I honestly think that all of Obelisk common Augs are like worth picking, especially Ironclap, making it actually do something when we use it. 10 damage is really nothing. Like, I guess you can consider the fact that you're also shielding and the fact that it also sometimes procs Crush, so it's, technically plus 15 damage on this if you use it 3 times per turn. It really doesn't do that for me. Bringing it up to 20 damage makes a considerable difference. Making sure that your movement skill can actually get it out of AoEs is considerable. Dense Seismic Slam. The Crush stack is a little eh. Like, it's still technically, like I said, plus 15 damage. But I much prefer just to get the plus 15 damage on Dense Seismic Slam. That's me personally, because then you can actually get rid of everything on the first hit instead of just hoping that you have to follow up on everything. That one in particular is a little weird. I could see this being like a later tier and then being 2 stacks of Crush so that you always activate Crush. That'd be a little bit more interesting in my opinion. But obviously this combos very well. Like, if you get Stonecutter's tools out of here for some reason, then that's pretty good. We're going to take Hardened Ironclap. Overstimulated, that's a little rough. Radiant Marketplace is a little rough. Proving Grounds, very rough. I guess of these options, I would much rather... We're going to need to find a DOT like right away if we're going to go to Radiant Market. I also don't like Inkshell because it means that Seismic Slam cannot like just eliminate the trash enemies and they stay on the field. I would much rather on Obelisk have the opposite. The one where they gain a stack of damage resistance every time you hit them. Oh, that's this one. Oh my god, what the heck am I talking about? I'm thinking the one that they get 20% and then they lose it each time. Inkshell, again, this is pretty suffer, but I think we might be able to deal with this. It's a really rough start. Two ink pots. Thanks, game. I don't want you guys to proc crush while you have DR. So I'm going to go as far to the wall as possible and hope that you guys don't run away from me. You guys are really something, you know that? Let's get him in on this. I don't think that we're going to get him in on this. There we go. I really don't want to use my Mercurial this early. And Seismic Slam should do this. 2 damage on that fight is more than all I could ask for. Let's get a little bit more crit. Critical Shield Bash. It's interesting, I'll give you that. Cone of Frost is a way to add more damage to us. Comparatively, if you think about it, Frostbite at a baseline is 25 magic damage every time that we hit them. Crush is 50 magic damage every time that we hit them 3 times, not counting being able to inflict more stacks of Crush. Cone of Frost is Crush for everybody. On top of us already dealing Crush. We do need to inflict, so it might be Cone of Frost. I would honestly prefer to see Poison here, because that would like auto-resolve. But I'm afraid that we're going to reroll this and not get something, so we're going to go ahead and take Cone of Frost. We can go into Frostbite anyways with Avalanche. Can get pretty potent. The gunk visual effect is staying on us. Not properly resolving itself. Okay. Let's go ahead, Cone of Frost here. Hit this. Get a little closer. Can we hit the both of you? We can. I'm feeling pretty good about that. We might have to use our Mercurial just to be able to Seismic Slam yet again. It's looking like that's the case. We'd have 100 left. We would just miss it. Okay, I know how we're doing this. Gonna go ahead, hit you guys all with Frostbite again. We're gonna charge on in here. Move here, pick up the orb, move out of the gunk. There we go. I don't think we want to go all the way into this AoE here. Is this worth bopping you twice? You probably won't even die. And increasing your damage. My orbs would stop spawning in the goop. That'd be appreciated. Alright, we lost more damage than expected there. I should not have attacked those bits. Let's get some physical power for some non-critical scaling. I'm feeling like Massive Seismic Slam is okay. I think what it honestly might be is Hardened Ironclap. I could also see us skipping here. Massive Seismic Slam is also pretty good. Problem is that this is our last common, and then we're going to start seeing greens. And greens can just give Seismic Slam, like, more, if that makes any sense. We could get a free use on Ironclap. Still think that that's moderately good there. What do we want here? It's honestly a little bit suffer. We're in Radiant Market. I kind of want to take an early shop. On dealing Crush, gain 1 shield. That seems pretty good. On your turn, 3 stacks of Frostbite to the nearest enemy. Okay, we're sort of looking at a build here. Ermong's Egg is great. If we can manage to not take a lot of damage in the next fight, we can get a purple. Purples are easy scaling. I think that that's worth the gamble. And then if we reroll here, we will not be able to afford a Binding Empowerment should it show up. So we're not going to do it. We can still heal. Barely. And I think we honestly want a Glyph Globule here, but we'll go ahead for a Superior Vault. We should be fine with whatever they offer us. Alright. I kind of don't want these pots to get out of hand. You're going to AoE right there. That's perfect. That's pretty handled right there. Yeah, I'm about that. Frozen Heart. On being hit, inflict frostbite to the attacker. Or gain money. Interesting. Bone Calcifier is huge for us, actually. Let's get some frostbite damage. We have like 3 things for it. Let's make frostbite hit more things. 45 damage is also relatively juicy. Especially since we're trying to make it crit. But I think that's kind of just like something that also happens. Poison Vapor will definitely give us our legendary at the end of this fight here. Binding Empowerment, please. I like the idea of Colossal. I like the idea of Frost actually dealing damage and being cheap. Like, that seems pretty good. The problem is that we're not actually scaling it in any way. We have no AP gain, and all we have is physical power gain. God, that's good, though. Like, that's our Shield Bash. That's technically our Seismic Slam in a smaller area. Interesting. We're going up against... What's their face, though? We're going up against Captor. We need AoE, like... I want to say better AoE damage, but then... Oh, man. We'll take Colossal Seismic Slam. I like the idea of this hitting more things. We're probably going to auto-complete our run quest right here. It's unfortunate that we didn't get Poison Vapors first. We would have our legendary already, which would be huge for this fight. Oh wait, they fixed it. That must have been something in this patch. Well. Oh, they reverted the change. That's actually, like, kind of terrible. Regardless, almost everything's dead here. We could... get, like, here and take care of all these swords. You could also, as weird as it is, just casually walk down here. Just barely can't also get that. Well, I guess we're going to take a little bit of damage here. It's going to have to happen. We are going to crush a ton of stuff up here, though, so we are going to get some shields. I guess we could also just walk down here. There we go. kind of want to keep Seismic Slam for the next, like, wave, but I don't think that's going to happen. We are definitely running out of runway, that's for sure. Should have most of our kit next turn, though. Where's my orb? Right there. So we're going to take our Potion of Power. Make sure to hit as many things as possible. Take the Power Orb. Also hit as many things with this as possible. This is now going to shield us for pretty much everything that we hit down there. Not to mention take off a lot of damage on the map. And now you're actually taking quite a bit of poison damage, and we'll just, like, clap you once. Pick that up. Alright. Got a little close, but we did it. Now this one's interesting. Poison Dart. Because we have Poison Vapor, this actually goes through enemies. So it's no longer a large old AoE. Maybe instead we go for Toxify. Oh no, it's kind of... This will hit more things, but we already added increased AoE, so it's not really going to mean much. Poison Dart at least allows us to line shot things and double stacks of poison, so it increases the damage by quite a bit. This honestly might be a reroll, even though obviously Poison Dart solves our single target. Avalanche is exactly what we wanted to see. The only unfortunate thing is that it will not scale off of physical power, but at least we inflict multiple stacks of crush, and we do inflict way too many frostbite stacks. So, this is technically somewhere close to this. Plus frostbite damage. Seems very good. Like, all of these are pretty damn good. It seems like plus frostbite damage is what we're going for. Charge Shield Bash, though, like, that's hard to disagree with. If we can get it to crit, it does, like, a heck a ton of damage. I think we're going to go with Freezing Frost here. Like I said, we're just applying so much to people for free. It's just free damage. And that is 3 ability power. I'm not going to not take that. Pacifism. Lose all of our ability power that we worked so hard for. No. Gunk. Radiant Market, but at home. Or Wit Thief. I think we can deal with Wit Thief. It's a little bit hard on this class due to our cooldowns, but I don't think that it's terrible. Otherwise, it's just gunk filled and we can't walk anywhere. That might be okay. I'm basically looking at the money here, and we should be able to bankroll a build off this. Is that worth losing 1 will a turn? Because I don't think this is that bad. We'll take it. Oi! I think we kind of need to solve that right away. Alright. That's a pretty clean fight. Excuse me? What is with this? Using poison vapor more often seems pretty conducive to us living. So I think that I'm pretty alright with that. Also, a free iron clap is good for positioning. This is pretty tough here. Like, really, the only thing that we've maybe put on Ironclap at this point is Crush on Hit or... God, what else? Frostbite on Hit, but Frostbite on Hit is unnecessary with how much Frostbite we deal. We don't hit things enough to actually get rid of all the Frostbite. So I think that Prepared Ironclap is fine, honestly. We're taking this. Unstable Brew is great for pushing pots. This is interesting. I really like the idea of Quicken Seismic Slam. We technically get a lot of damage out of stacking Frostbite and all that, but we honestly might just need to clear things, which would be taking Mighty Frost. That also removes it from our list so that we only get purples for these guys. Gives us that chance for plus 100 on Shield Bash again. Gives us a chance for Avalanche doing even more damage. I believe there's a -1 will cost on there. Having it for free would be great. Otherwise, getting another purple for more Frostbite damage would be pretty ridiculous. I don't know if that's exclusive, actually. What else do we have here? We could overstack Frost, but I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to see if we can multi-stack the Frostbite damage, which means that Seismic Slam being cheaper seems pretty good. And I guess we could take a cooldown here. We could also reroll this. Not cheaper. It'd be quicker cooldown down. I'm willing to reroll this. Seems pretty good to me. We will take more glyph globes. Oozing jelly, crit chance, stacks of poison. That would honestly be very good for Nim. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take this fight. We're hoping to see the money pots that we can use our unstable brew. We did not. We're still probably going to use the unstable brew. And with that, let's go ahead and frostbite all the things. Should probably actually hit as many of you as possible here just to kind of game the run quest. And then we're going to clap, seismic, orb, clap again. That's pretty good, I would say. If I do that, I cannot slam. So let's do a little bit of positioning here. We're taking 2 damage. Pretty good. Ooh, now we have a crit. Let's first farm that quest. Poison damage is not a 0 integer. That good spike damage was definitely interesting to see. They must have increased the rarity of those. Do we care about increasing... What are the purples again? More damage? -1 cost. I think -1 cost is worth putting on Seismic Slam. I kind of like Poison Vapors increasing damage taken as well. So is that really what we're doing? We're just doing increased damage taken, increased damage taken? Because I can deal with that. And if that's the case, then Avalanche doesn't need to... Yeah, it could be that. Give me my oozing jelly. Brain Tuna is going to be huge versus the final boss. These are interesting, but it's not what we're looking for. Is it not what we're looking for, though? I could see Shield Slam. We gained some shields. Nah. Reroll that. Blizzard hitting more people, inflicting slightly more stacks of frostbite. Flash Freeze is now targeted and inflicts dazed, making enemies deal less damage to us. Honestly, seems pretty good. It also deals like too much freaking damage. The problem is I don't remember what the AoE is on this. We kind of do want to freeze as many things as possible, so we would technically want Blizzard. Otherwise, we would reroll for Ironclap. Impulse shields us more. That's about it. So, I could see it being Blizzard. Increase that area. Make it almost as screen wide as we possibly can. I don't think we want to buy anything because we want to be able to buy a legendary at the shop. So, I think it's a tethered shrine. We might get some status damage. Some frostbite would be nice. We're seeing a lot of blues. Blue frostbite? Nope. Ability power, though. We take that. That scales our frostbite damage. Albeit not as good as we would hope. Vengeful Infusion. Unfortunately, that is going to disappear as soon as we pick up one of these. How much do we want plus damage taken on these? The game's asking us about our character. I think I want plus damage on that enough to actually take Glyph Globes. This is probably the first time I've ever felt like this. The mechanic is working. Because if we can get double plus damage, that is like, good God. Two Earth Shakers is a little spooks. Not gonna lie. Let's go ahead and hit everything here. And then we're out. And we can like clap these guys. Is 5 damage worth that damage? I don't think it's worth that damage. 5 damage is worth this damage? I'm not sure it's worth that damage. Oh, we're not taking 5. Yep, that's worth that damage. And now Avalanche is critting? Excuse me? You want to run that nonsense by me again? It's almost killing absolutely everybody. All I gotta do is tap you once here. For free, mind you. They all got team captain. That is pretty suffer, not gonna lie. Okay, this will take care of you. I just kind of want to try and make sure that I'm out of this AoE up here. Woo! Look at that. We should be able to wiggle out of this here if this spawn doesn't body block us. It's trying. It is certainly trying. Let's go ahead and use our free clap just to get in here a little bit better. Hit all you guys. Slam. Pick up the Porb. Then I would really like to get out of your AoE. Team Captain is kind of like getting in the way here. So we're going to have to just walk right over here. All this AoE really working for us because of Runestone Sled here. I really want to take care of that Earthshaker. Is this going to do it? This'll do it. Okay then. Then we've really got some options here. We've already got our reward, so we don't have to fish anymore. So let's just tap you once and then hit you with this. Next turn we'll be able to bop you because you got 14 frostbite. It's going to cause an inordinate amount of crush. Like, how much shield does this give us? Only 2? That doesn't seem right. You only crushed twice? We're going to have to take a look at that. I think that that's kind of messed up. Conduit of Hybridized Ages just offsets Whale Thief. We absolutely want this. It also allows us to do big payouts, which is also pretty interesting. These are already spoken for. These are getting purples, which means that Stunning Shield Bash is good. I'm not against it. Are we willing to reroll? I think we are. Shatter. That's okay. It's another plus damage taken. Do we have enough money now that we want to go to the shop? We could get rid of this little crit nonsense. Like, it was cute, but not really doing it for me. Or we could re-roll at the final shop. I think we're good for Nim. Let's re-roll at the final shop. Yeah, let's re-roll at that final shop. That was... I'll tell you what, since this update, those tethered shrines have been going hard. They are starting to feel worth it. Maybe it's also because I have 2 status effects, so I actually want to see some of this stuff. But we got ability power twice, which is crazy. We're about to make Nim really frickin' angry because it's much better than these things hitting us for as much as they want to hit us for. So we're going to hit that, then that, and then we're going to hit them. Well, let's pick up this orb. Let's move in a little bit on you. And then we'll use this. And then we'll use this. Yeah, that's admittedly a little weird. Our next ability does hecka damage, so we're going to use an ability that we want to deal hecka damage with. Scale that poison, and then get some shielding. This is going to clear either way, so we might as well just, Do you gain while phased? Huh. Guess I should stop fooling around. Okay, hit this. Hit this. Probably should have stacked that as well. Kind of know that we're going to face race here. This is fine. Yeah, this should just get close to wiping him off the map. Whew. Alright. Another thing to note, we could take Impulse simply because it allows us to inflict Crush. It's almost the same as Shell. Shell just gives us Spiked, which we are technically scaling because of the fact that we have access to Bone Calcifier. But we really don't have enough, like, will to go around to actually, like, spam Shell on this build. Maybe we should? I don't know. It seems like the easiest thing for us to take, though. With Runestone Sled, it certainly is interesting. It's like the common Og that is 20% chance to gain 1 shield, except that it is more reliable. So that means that Impulse would give us... Most times we are using Impulse twice at the end of turn there, so then that would have been 3 shield every turn. Instead of 2 shield every turn, maybe 3 shield every turn, makes that more reliable. If we use Shell, then it's going to be 4, maybe 5 shield a turn. That seems like it's much better for us. We'll go ahead and we'll take Shell. A little bit of spike damage never hurt anybody. Except for, of course, you know, the enemies. We'll take Rending Frost. It's exactly what we're saving for. And then we're guaranteed to get plus damage on Poison with the next one. But having it on Rending Frost first is good because our opener is just Blizzard and Avalanche. This boss fight is going to be interesting. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm also not sure how to feel about you. Why are you here? We totally did that wrong. That's pretty embarrassing, to be honest. That was a lot of damage lost by doing that in that order. Alright, where's my orb? I mean, it's certainly still doing a lot of damage. And then we'll wiggle with our free here. Might as well put some poison on these guys. Not really much else left in this fight. Get a little bit more spiked in case we do take damage. Okay, this should be pretty good. Unfortunately, we've totally like offset our Blizzard. And we didn't shed that. I think this still equates to more damage overall, though. Yeah, we're just, like, screwing everything up, though. Go ahead, poison everything, hit that, hit this. What you gonna do? Another bone calcifier is hilarious. We don't need the Urmong's egg. We could just take Miser's Purse, actually. That's quite interesting. So because of the fact that we took Will Thief, we now have access to Miser's Purse. Huh. Thunderstruck Bell is also interesting. I'm honestly going to want to take a look at... I don't think that more crits is bad. We probably replace counter assistance. Or do we if we get plus 60% damage? That's quite a bit of damage. It doesn't affect any of our DOTs though. That is one thing to note. It really only affects Shield Bash. Maybe we heal off this so that we have more to spend money on. There we go, debilitating poison. Boosh. Enemies are going to take plus 50% damage from us. Another conduit seems honestly like pretty disgusting here. I think that's worth more than a Miser's Purse, which probably sounds absolutely ludicrous. Yeah, I can get behind that. That definitely replaces counter assistance. What do we want here? I don't think we want anything here. Reroll again. Is there a good blue? Hmm. Okay. Okay. So at this point, is it a second bone calcifier? Or is it whittling mitts? Because this 3 stacks of frostbite is like nothing. I think we're taking that. I think we take a second doggo. Because we're pretty much unkillable at this point. I could also see Thunderstruck Bell. But again, that's only going to hit our hit damage. It's not going to hit our crush or our frostbite damage. So it's really not doing that much for us. I guess there is something to be said about the fact that we got plus 50% damage taken. Then shock makes him take another 50% of that new damage. So in actuality, this is 75% more damage on our first hit, which is eh. It's probably the right move, actually. Just spread a little bit more damage. I just feel like this is going to get eaten by Blizzard most of the time. Whereas Bone Calcifier is going to scale our Crush to absurd amounts, and our Shield Bash sometimes will crit. It's a shame that we couldn't fit that plus 100 in there, but this is definitely more damage. I mean, it's not more damage than plus 100 damage, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Urmog's egg is cracked. It also gave us the Bone Calcifier, so it was pretty cracked. So we're just going to do a little bit of memeing here. We are going to pet both doggos behind the fence. Alright. This should be interesting. So we want to apply poison first, frostbite next, then hit this. Oh my dear lord. That's pretty good. So when we take some damage, which means that I think we actually want to be here. Forgot to take my fish. Yeah. Taking that damage is good for us. Boom. Get rid of that. And we're just gonna bully the burb. I think we have already gone super critical. I am sorry, everybody. You were expecting wholesome family entertainment, and I have failed you. And honestly, I want to take this damage, so... I'll be honest. Let that go. And then just frickin' blap this man. I have 5 Cinderpox. That's going to be there for a turn. I think I'm fine. Just... pick that up. Do we crush everyone here? Oh, we have more than enough. Yeah, I keep forgetting that we have 2 conduits. And Cinder drops here, we're going to want to make sure to use Poison Vapor. But this is probably the correct move at the moment. Never mind, we just phased Cinder because our Crush is out of control. Oh my god. Our Crush is almost a bonk, and we crush multiple times. He is just a boy. Could you stop putting those over there? Like, I can get away with it, but it's still pretty frickin' rude. And we're pretty much full block. We're just gonna keep this up. We're gonna keep this up until you break. Which is probably about right now. Good lord. Good lord. YouTube. Well, hopefully that was entertaining, or at least educational. If you have any feedback whatsoever, be sure to leave that down in the comments below, be it questions, concerns, comments, misplay alerts. Want to see them all. As far as the run, really came together. It was a little bit janky around Radiant Market because of all the pots were just being troublesome for us. But once we actually started getting some frostbite damage in the build, and we got past who is it? Captor. Captor honestly wasn't too big of a problem for us. I believe we took a little bit of damage going into there. Nim was a little bit spooky, but that was just because we had so much AoE. And honestly, Book 2 Nim, you really don't get to the point to where... In Book 1 Nim, enemies start with like 1 damage. So you can be like, oh yeah, it's much better for you guys to hit me than me to kill all of you and gain all this damage. Book 2 Nim, they start at 3 damage. Like, it's just better to kill them. But it means that he's constantly scaling, and so you have to make sure that you're phasing him quick enough, which we were a little iffy on, but we definitely came around afterwards. What with the conduits and bone calcifier, second bone calcifier was just absolutely nutty. I think we were up at like what, plus 50 times 6 crush. I think it was times 5 when we looked at it. It was 247. It's normally 50. So we were quintupling our crush damage. Also made shell actually like deal some significant damage. We were shelling a lot, which meant that we had spiked, and so then they were taking a whole ton of damage. Right here, without any of our bone calcifier modifiers, it was double damage for spiked. We walked by a lot of spike damage too. Like, that could have easily have been our build too. It's just keep spamming shell. Make sure that we crush everything so that we get a little bit more shields. It really came together. Anyways, it was a fun run. Hope you guys had fun too. And until next time, we'll catch you guys around.